everybody, and welcome to the CX Live Dialogues. We are delighted to have with us today Sanjay Gupta, Vice President, South Asia and Middle East at NICE. Welcome, Sanjay.
Thank you, Aisha. Thank you for the warm welcome and the opportunity.
It's a pleasure having you today, Sanjay. Now, Sanjay, we're living in a digitally thrived ecosystem whereby customers as well as brands are really relying on a lot of engagement as well as omnichannel expertise in order to embrace the value and the products that brands are pushing forward. Now, why do you feel that CX does not start with contact centers? Why are the digital entry points becoming extremely important?
Sure, Aisha. So I'll give you something which is very personal to all of us as we are consumers ourselves before we preach anything. And if you think about today, when you look for information on a product or trying to buy a product, you actually don't call the contact center of that company. You just Google it, right? And that's your first point of entry. And you're not alone in this journey. The research says that 80% of the people actually do that. So that becomes your first digital entry point, which is not contact center, but somewhere else. Now, Google can be just example. There could be a mobile app, there could be a website, there could be any other channel or social for that matter, where customers are actually seeking to get served. And therefore, if you look at in last few years, this phenomenon is rapidly changing. 76% of digital customer acquisitions are happening through digital channel. What does it mean? It essentially means that other channels are becoming more and more important, and therefore keeping a single channel contact center doesn't make sense. And the concept that we work with really is, if you really want to be creating a differentiator in your customer experience, meet the customer where they begin their journey, or in other words, call it a digital doorstep concept. Meet the customer, and that's what NICE really is focusing on.
Certainly. Now, obviously, there's a lot of toolkits that organizations have in today's date that they can leverage. What are the key trends that you are seeing for CX, solution-based vendors, as in the best of the breed platforms and as a service as well?
Yeah, so best of breed has served us for a very long time, because if you look at from a technology standpoint, especially in customer experience, all the tools that were used or actually decisions were made were all IT led. And IT essentially decided which tool to buy and how they will talk to each other. And this is where the concept of best of breed really came in. And they added components by components, be it IVR to an ACD to WFO or any other thing that you have. Now you look at today with openness that's around, and with multiple channels coming in and forming an omni channel, it is becoming increasingly difficult to increase the integration between these so-called best breed. And therefore the concept now is about a company or a platform providing a seamless suite form, as we call it, which has all the capabilities tied together through an AI engine and available on a scalable and secure environment like cloud. And that's where suite form is really coming in. So it's all about making sure that you have the right platform which is talking to you at a multiple point and able to handle the volumes that you are desired to, and also keeping your data secure and making sure you're compliant to the regulations in whichever country you are. So that trend is really changing. It also helps IT folks, because it means less and less of maintenance of IT infrastructure and software, and therefore less headache for them.
Definitely. Now, as you touched upon data, I guess one of the key angles that comes into play is the role of AI and automation. And this is constantly evolving, especially as data takes so many varieties of, growth as well as revenue generation opportunities within an organization. Now, what is the role of AI and automation as you see in the future of contact centers?
So AI and data essentially are solving some of the more complex challenges. One, lack of trained manpower. I'm not talking about lack of manpower alone, the trained and the right manpower, which different countries face at different points in time. The second is amalgamation of all these channels through which your customer is actually coming to talk to you. And it is ever changing again based on the demographics and so on and so forth. The customers are really wanting a hyper personalized interaction with your brand. And the third piece really is the domain expertise, that how do I make sure that my domain knowledge is made available at all the entry points so that customers are able to do self-service. Now, these are three major challenges based on the market conditions or external environments, which organizations are finding it hard. And that becomes much, much easier with AI and automation. Because if you talk about automation so far, most organizations have ended up taking process automation, which is mainly, uh, you know, taking complex problems or sometimes even repetitive problems and automating them and thereby reutilizing their manpower somewhere else. But I think there is an opportunity to do conversational automation. There's an opportunity in every process of CX. There is an automation possible, whether it is IVR, whether it is conversational AI, or it is analytics or anything else. And therefore, NICE is working on these solutions wherein we are propagating a piece that AI everywhere. So our entire platform essentially has AI embedded, and we are now making ready models available for customers to consume it so that they are able to deliver the desired customer experience.
Definitely. And again, companies have been investing a lot in structured data in order to create these wonderful intelligent automation journeys, the process automation journeys that you just referenced, Sanjay. Now, how do you see data going forward? What's the role that data is now going to play as we embark on this next journey post, AI, and obviously now generative AI coming into being? How is the landscape going to change?
Well, data is going to be the most wanted commodity. As always says, or you've heard this cliche, data is new oil, and that's really the role that data is going to play. Now, unstructured data is all around us, which has no use. What really is required is a labeled structured data, which can actually be put to use in consuming the right services out of it. And therefore, any automation, design that an organization will do will be based on all of these data insights. Take example, you talked about generative AI. Now, generative AI is a very general AI. It is great, no doubt about that. Would it be nice for an organization to have that knowledge of brand or your domain merged with conversational AI through something like our knowledge management, and then you deliver expert answers? Because your customer is not asking for general answers, they're expecting expert answers. So generative AI like tools are really, really powerful when combined with the right domain expertise and knowledge to deliver the desired outcomes. So data definitely is a very, very important. And companies like us, if you look at NICE, we are in a very unique position here because we have colossal access of data for last 40 years, because we've been recording every single conversation of customers across the globe, across the verticals, and we now have converted that experience into ready data sets, which we are able to deliver at every step of the way.
That's wonderful to hear, Sanjay. Now, omni-channel contact centers have been adopted by customers for a while now. How do you see this evolving in the future?
Yeah, great question, Ayusha. So today, if you look at every customer, an average customer uses about 6 touch points, and more than 50% of those uses four. They're using four, which are different, could be voice, email, data, Twitter, or anything else. Now, there is a big distinction that I would like to draw between omni-channel and multi-channel. Because so far, to your point, most organizations have actually added multiple channels to their contact centers, but they not necessarily are omni-channels because they are siloed approach and typically done as a me too approach, because consumers want it and you want to be seen as a progressive organization. So you have your point of presence, but most times you end up getting a very standard response of we will get back to you. And if you are actually trying as a customer multiple channels, you get different responses in each channel. So that's really not omni-channel. Omni-channel is about one, being available all the time at the power of consumer, whichever channel they want to really go to. Second, it has this whole notion of context sharing across the channels so that you are able to start your journey in one, progress in another, and maybe if you like, end it in the another channel. And it becomes completely seamless. And with that, you are able to devise several automation capabilities so that customers are able to self-serve themselves, so that they really don't need to actually talk to you. And they can find their information or do all the tasks that they're looking at using the right channel and right device that they desire.
And finally, Sanjay, obviously NICE has a lot of these capabilities. We are looking forward to having NICE and yourself at the CX Live show very shortly, whereby we can deep dive a bit more to understand not just the strengths that NICE offers as a platform, but also the future growth opportunities that organizations can leverage should they work with NICE. So we're looking forward to having you and the team at the event. And thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you. Looking forward to a great event and share our story with everyone. Thank you.
Take care. Bye for now.